And action?
I can't seem to find anything wrong with Joe or Nori.
But it's the second seizure they've had in 3 days. Mom, I'm fine. It's like they were possessed.
I'm sorry, I've run out of tests. Hospital Westlake could do more, but it's 5 miles outside the dome.
We want to see a real doctor?
Yeah, I know. One of them is missing, the other is on vacation in Vail, and one of them drove his Beamer into the dome. This is all you got.
I'm sorry, I know this is stressful, but would you run the test one more time? Dad!
What happened?
He was coughing and having trouble breathing, then he collapsed.
Any chest pain?
No.
Okay.
Cut. Action?
I think what you're doing is so great, like a great letter. I've begun looking into malaria, and I think it's a really interesting area that I'll be encouraging my boss to ask the Secretary of State to look at.
Is there any chance I'll be able to meet the Secretary of State?
Oh, no. She's, always away. But it seems to me that the opportunities here are massive. A real chance of wiping out the disease the same way smallpox was wiped out. African countries uniting together already to get the job done. Net coverage of 100% possible with pretty modest extra funding. 1, maybe 2 major breakthroughs in the vaccine.
Why? You've really been doing your homework.
Homework's my job. Did you realize that there's malaria here in the USA, particularly here in Washington in the 1800s? Did you realize that more people died of malaria in the Second World War than died in the fighting?
No, I didn't know any of that. I do now.
This is the kind of dramatic, positive intervention that I think can be so important for our foreign policy in the future. The good war, the war on disease.
David, if you want to see Ferguson, we've got a few minutes now.
Great. Come on, meet the boss.
Cut. Action?
Next. Passport? Are you traveling alone? Miss Morrissey,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I asked, are you traveling alone?
Yes.
Is the purpose of your trip business or pleasure?
Business.
It's dangerous times in Lebanon right now, even for Canadians.
I know. I read the travel advisor.
There may be a war.
That's why I'm here, to make sure my company's interests are protected.
And what company is that?
Coca-Cola distribution.
My cousin works for the Coca-Cola bottling company.
Oh, which one? We have 2 plants. One in Tripoli and the one in Bin Jbeil.
Tripoli. Do you have anything to declare?
No.
Thank you. Be safe.
Cut. Action?
We can then lay down support straws this direction, and we add in crossbeams, and Bob's your uncle.
It's not good. There's not enough clearance on the top side.
You're not listening. Hang on.
Cut. Action?
So we can lay down support straws this direction, then we add a little bit crossbeams, and Bob's your uncle.
It's no good. There's not enough clearance on the top side.
You're not listening. Hang on.
Yeah. Action?
We lay down support straws this direction, then we add in the crossbeams, and Bob's your uncle.
It's no good. There's not enough clearance on the top side.
You're not listening. Hang on.
Cut. Rolling.
This is awkward.
It's fine.
It's probably the last thing you want to see. You must already be nervous they're going to get back together.
Right, seriously?
What? They were madly in love. And they're always breaking up and getting back together. So, no offense. You're totally cute, but they have history.
She's not nervous. It's not like you ever seriously being David anyway. He's sweet, but aren't you going to Princeton? We'll just tell him I'll be waiting by him in the car.
Action?
I think what you're doing is so great. Great letter. I've begun looking into malaria. I definitely think that this is something that I will be encouraging my boss and to showing the Secretary of State.
Is there any chance I'll be able to meet the Secretary of State?
No, she's, always away. But it seems to me that the opportunities here are massive. Yeah. A real chance at wiping out disease like malaria or like smallpox, that's, wow. All these African countries just coming together all ready to just get the job done. I mean, net coverage of 100% possible with pretty modest extra funding. That's one, maybe two major breakthroughs at a vaccines.
Wow, you really been doing your homework, huh?
Yeah. Homework is my job. Yeah. Did you realize that there was malaria here in the USA? I mean, particularly here in Washington, but yeah, in the 1800s, that's what it was. And then did you know that more people died of malaria during the Second World War in Italy than they actually did of fighting? That's...
Wow,
yeah.
no, I didn't know any of that. I do now.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of dramatic, positive intervention that I think could be so important, for our foreign policies in the future. The good war, the war on disease.
David, if you want to see Ferguson, we got a few minutes now.
Great, come on, let's go meet the boss.
Cut. Action.
We need to get down there, now.
The car was immobilized on 4B when the cell block went into lockdown.
Override the damn thing.
I'm trying. Someone reset all the security permissions. Everything is a mess.
Cut. Action.
Okay. I can get run again. I just need to reboot the system.
What that looks like.
Power down. The emergency generators kick on. I get everything back online. Well, the elevator works.
Wolfgast, we gotta reboot to get the elevator working.
Cut. Action.
We need to get down there now.
The car was immobilized on 4B when the cell block went into lockdown.
Override the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm trying, but someone reset all the security permissions. Everything's a mess.
Cut. Action.
Okay, I can get it up and running again. I just need to reboot the system.
What's that look like?
Power down, the emergency generators kick in, I get everything back online, elevator works.
Wolfgast, we gotta reboot to get the elevator working.
Cut. Action.
Paulson, what's the problem?
Sir, you know David Winston?
I met him briefly on the way in. How you been, Winston?
He drove long-haul trucks for 20 years. One day he found a girl, raped her, strapped her to the bottom of his rig. He drove across the entire country from Seattle to Bozeman with her under there. Do you have any idea what she looked like when they found her?
Hey, listen to me. You don't need to learn their stories, okay? You don't owe it to them.
He didn't give me a choice. Just like you and Shauna Babcock.
I didn't make the call to say Babcock. It came from Washington.
Bullshit. I saw what she did. And now it's happening to me. Only worse. He's worse.
I want you to report to the medical right now for the psych eval.
Look. Damn it. I'm not crazy.
It's for your own good, alright? We've got medicine, Paulson. It works.
Babcock's playing you. Listen. We have to stop them. Look, if we don't stop them, they're gonna kill us all.
We're sworn to protect the lives of the facility until these lab rats give us the cure that
What
we
for the
need.
lab rats?
Are you still unclear about who's the lab rat in this equation? These things only hurt us if we let them. I don't care if you believe me, soldier. Just do your job.
Cut. Action.
I can't find anything wrong with Nori and Joe.
But it's the second seizure they had in 3 days. Mom, I feel fine. It's like they were possessed.
I'm sorry, but we've run out of tests. Hospitals in Westlake can do much more, but they're 5 miles outside the dome.
We want to see a real doctor.
That makes 2 of us. One is gone missing, the other one is on vacation in Vail, and the other one drove their Bimmer into the dome. This is all you've got.
Look, I'm sorry. I know this is stressful, but would you run the tests one more time? Dad!
What happened?
He was coughing, having trouble breathing, and then he collapsed.
Any chest pains?
No.
Cut. Action.
I just can't find anything wrong with Nora and Joe.
But it's the second seizure they've had in 3 days. Mom, I feel fine. It's like they were possessed.
I'm sorry, but I run out of tests. Hospital in Westlake could do more, but they're 5 miles outside of the dome.
We want to see a real doctor.
That makes 2 of us. We've got one missing, one on vacation in Vail, and the other drove his Beamer into the dome. This is all you got.
I'm sorry. I know this is stressful, but would you run the test one more time? Dad!
What happened?
He was coughing, having trouble breathing, then he collapsed.
Does he have any chest pains?
No.
Cut. Action.
Passport. Are you traveling alone? Miss Morrissey,
I'm sorry?
I asked if you're traveling alone.
Yes.
Is the purpose of your trip business or pleasure?
Business.
It's dangerous in Lebanon now, even for Canadians.
I know. I read the travel advisory.
Or maybe a war.
That's why I'm here, to make sure my company's interests are protected.
Which company is that?
Coca-Cola Distribution.
Coke. My cousin used to work for their bottling plant.
Which one? We have 2 plants. One in Tripoli and one in Benjabil.
Tripoli. Do you have anything to declare?
No.
Thank you. Be safe.
Cut. Action.
Paulson, what's the problem?
Sir, you remember David Wilson?
Yeah, I met him briefly on the way in. How have you been, Winston?
He drove long-haul trucks for 20 years. Then one day he found the girl, raped her, strapped her to the undercarriage of his rig, and drove with her his entire route from Seattle to Bozeman. Do you have any idea what she looked like when they found her?
Hey, listen to me. You don't need to learn about their stories, okay? You don't owe that to them.
He didn't give me a choice. Just like with you and Sarah Babcock.
I didn't make the call to save Babcock. It came from Washington.
Bullshit. I saw what you did. And now it's happening to me. Only this is worse. Because he's worse.
I want you to report to the medic right now for a psych eval, okay?
No, I'm not crazy. Okay,
It's for your own good. They've got medicine, Paulson. It works.
Babcock is playing you. All right, sir. We have to stop this, okay? If we don't, they're going to kill us all.
We are sworn to protect the lives in this facility until these lab rats give us the cure we need.
And what if we are the lab rats? Huh?
And are you still unclear about who's the lab rat in this equation? These things only hurt us if we let them. I don't care if you believe me, soldier. Just do your job.
Cut.